I think this was our best match in our season. If we will go to Kiel with some doubts, with some afraid, we can lose by 15.
Because right now you are on a 100% streak of going to Cologne and winning the Champions League.
Let's stay like that, please.
Ball across to Dylan. He double in flight. Oh, what a start!
Ooh, into the net.
She does it again.
Yes, Van Dijvenberg are the champions of Europe. Come up with something here. She has a game. Surprise the keeper. What a comeback!
And it is time to talk handball again, everybody. I'm looking forward to this episode because we are right in the middle of the quarterfinals of the EHF Champions League. On one hand side of the Machineseeker EHF Champions League and of the EHF Champions League women there as well. We're recording on Friday. That's why you are a little smarter than we are right now. But we are having a guest in today. But before we introduce the guest, we got to introduce our co-host here. Mr. Worldwide, when it comes down to the beaches, he has seen it all. He has won it all, ladies and gentlemen. Martin VIlstrup, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. It's Friday, and it's always good to start the weekend with the podcast and you guys. So far so good. Let's see if I'm in a different mood when the podcast is over. I don't know,
Look how charming he can be. But he knows beaches here as well because he has one in his backyard. He is Mr. Barcelona, ladies and gentlemen. Victor Tomas, how are you?
Hello, everything good. Now that we could start after waiting Martin because he's always late, It's not the Spanish guy, the one who is late. It's the Danish guy,
For once.
So, yeah.
Just one person here who is always on time, but I don't know who that would be. But yeah, that's a topic for a different day.
It would be the guest. It would be.
Probably. But yeah, actually, Victor, have you stopped smiling yet since that Barca victory over Paris?
No, actually. But you guys know that I was some opposite feelings with that game. Of course, I wanted Barca to get it because Barca is my club, but it was kind of disappointing a little bit because, in my opinion, there is no more story on that playoff. The game, the second game, will be just to play it and to go to Cologne because the playoff it's already finished, in my opinion.
The playoff is already for Barca. So you think Barca is through already?
Yes, I think so. Winning by 8 in Paris. Maybe we could go through the files and not find a game where Barca loses for 7 or 8 or 9 goals in the last 50 years in Palau Blaugrana.
At home. Yeah, exactly.
In Palau Blaugrana.
Yeah. So, Martin, you do agree that there won't be a French magical night coming in next week?
I agree. It's a little bit disappointing having in mind that Paris was leading with 4 goals or something like that at halftime. And I think the last couple of minutes, Paris didn't score any goals. And Barca was leading with 3 goals. And then in the end, it became 8. And yeah. That's too much, for Paris Saint-Germain. It's as Victor said, we predicted Barcelona, but the sad thing about Paris going out is the Cinderella story with Nikola Karabatic and the ending of the GOAT's career. We all wanted him to be there. Now he got the European Championship at least, and then he needs to fight for the Olympics. But Barcelona, they are through to this one, and I think. I'm not going to say it, but maybe there's another matchup as well that are pretty close to also already been decided with Montpellier and Kiel. But
yeah, but I mean, before we go there, let's stay at PSG against Barca for a second because, Martin, you said it won't be that Cinderella story, but how many more Cinderella stories are we able to take after Nikola Karabatic actually took home the Euro here? What kind of a Cinderella story would it be if if PSG actually managed to turn it around here eventually. But yeah, well, that's a very, very long road to go, especially if we're looking at how that game developed. So on one hand side, we did talk about it, that Paris didn't score for quite some time at the end, but they were in the lead by 4 goals just after halftime, and managed to score like only 2 more in the next 16 minutes. So, well, how in the world was Paris able to bottle a game that hard, Victor?
The thing was that Barca was doing a great job all the time, but the only problem with Barca, it had a name and a last name. It was Andreas Palica. But Barca was doing a great job both offensively and defensively. In attack, in my opinion, all the attack was going through Dicamem's hands, but when he went to the bench after 8, 9, 10 minutes of the second half, the rest of the players started to take more responsibility and to score goals. And in my opinion, defensively, the work that Barcelona did yesterday, it was amazing, especially when Paris, in the second half, they tried to play 7 against 6, and they holded Paris for 5, 6, 7 minutes with an amazing job in defense. It was amazing to see Barcelona defending 7 against 6 yesterday.
Yeah, so they did a good job from... Well, at least from start of the second half until the end, because the first half was in the direction of PSG, and I'm struggling to find arguments here for Paris to actually still making it through, because there were some teams that actually beat Barca and Palau Blaugrana this year, but actually it was just like 1 or 2, and then it wasn't as clear as 8 goals.
But for me, Paris, they should think about what are their plans in terms of constructing the team, because when Greville is out and he's a left wing and they cannot defend 6-0 because a left wing is injured, the planning maybe it's not the best, because you have a player like Ruben Marchand that it's not used at all. And then you have another player like Jakob Holm that it's not used at all either. And for me, Jakob Holm is a very, very good player. And he was only playing when the game was already lost.
Yeah.
So the fact that when Greville is injured, that they cannot play in a 6-0 in defense, which is the defense I think they feel better. I don't know, but maybe they have to rethink the planning of the team.
Well, probably, but before they can rethink the planning of the team, there's still that rematch to be played, that second leg. Martin, you already said that you don't believe in PSG anymore as well. But still, what would need to happen in a second leg where you're like 8 goals behind already to actually turn it around, or to be even able to get close?
Yeah. First of all, they need to come up with the idea how to stop Barcelona, because if you look at the history of Barcelona, they have a tendency to score around, normally more than 30 goals. They only scored 30 against Paris, but Palica needs to be shown up as he sometimes do in the big matches. And as Victor said, he kind of already did in this game. He needs to, and then Prandi needs to also have a game where he can open up from the far distance, because otherwise, relying on Robin Tønnesen, I don't know about that, if that's enough, and then they have Luke Steins, a smaller one that play differently. Everything has to just be perfect for Paris, and I wouldn't say that wouldn't probably be enough to beat Barcelona with 8 goals, because Barcelona are too strong. And we're mentioning Palica. They still have Perez de Vargas and Emil Nielsen. They will probably also have a save or 2 in the other match. So I have a tough time seeing it. It should be something with 2 minute suspensions, maybe a surprise defensively or offensively. They need to do something at least crazy. Otherwise, I actually, as you guys, struggle to see Barcelona lose with that many goals in Barcelona. We're not just talking about a 2-3 goal win.
I can't remember a defeat by 8 ever. Since I have memory, you know. So in my opinion, this one is done.
Yeah, and the thing is, as I said, if Barcelona are going to make 30 goals again, then Paris needs to do 38 at least in Barcelona. You know.
But also, as I said before, with the planning of the team, you don't have a second right back. You know, it was Tonesen all the time because Dominic Maté has been in and out all year, and in my opinion, he has not the confidence of the coach. Then Luke Steins is, in my opinion, amazing player, but is playing too much because with his style of playing, he needs to be 1-against-1 all the time. He needs to be playing for his teammates all the time, and physically, it's a big effort for him. So at some point, after 45-50 minutes, he's done. So and then when you don't have Prandi, Nico played quite well, but then of course he cannot play 60 minutes. So I think that it's a little bit the deep of the squad what made yesterday Barcelona keep pushing, and then to get this 8-goal difference in the score.
It's a little bit also the history of Paris. You know, they need to think about, as Victor said, what team do they want? The mix of the team, does it suit one player to play with another player? Because we all remember the team they had with Mikkel Hansen, Narcisse Omeyer, Gemeli, all the big players, and Uwe Gensheimer. They didn't win it, you know. And all these players, if you just look at them, you would say, okay, they should win probably the Champions League. But the mix of the team, it can be all the big stars, but if they're not capable of playing together, or Luke Stein is maybe a fit for one backcourt player, but maybe he's not a fit for someone else. And they need to think about the structure, also having the defense in mind, you know, with Krebil. How do you want to build up the team just in general? And that's not only about the stars. They also need to have some kind of different types of players that can fill out, you know, the smaller roles on the team, if you can say it like that.
Yeah, it looks like that. But on the other hand, we already have one smiling horse. For the other one, I am not too sure. How do you rate this game from Aalborg in the end? I mean, they ended up losing it 32-31, but away against Veszprém in a very, very tenuous matchup there as well. That was just decided by a turnover in the very, very last second, which Veszprém actually managed to net, to end it up in the net. But yeah, still, Aalborg actually made a quite well game and almost went home with the victory in their pockets because they had the ball in hand like 6 seconds prior to the end. But yeah, still, they do have the advantage of playing the second leg at home. And after that last second, because there was a lot of discussion going on whether that ball crossed the line before the final whistle appeared or not, eventually the goal was given, and in my opinion, it was the right decision there. But you could see Aalborg fuming, and you will know that they go into the second leg with a lot of anger in their guts. How dangerous is an angry Aalborg, Martin?
Well, I just know for sure that it will be very stupid if they end up, you know, drawing in Aalborg, and the last goal they're gonna be thrown out if it's when they had the ball in their own hands, you know. With a draw and 6 seconds left, I would say that at least you should get the draw from Hungary. But what I saw from the game in the beginning, I was like, okay, Niklas Landin, he's there, you know, that's a game he want to play. And to me, the biggest difference where Aalborg has an advantage is on the goalkeeper position. I think Landin is the better one of compared to the Veszprém keepers. I'm not saying they're bad. I just think Landin, if he hits his top level, as we've seen, for example, against what he did against Kiel, then I think that Aalborg has an advantage there. And also Arnesen and Hoxer, they did really well in the beginning. And Aalborg were they leading 8-3 or something like that. And I was sitting like there, okay, I didn't expect this, you know, because they did really well, Aalborg. But it's an open game, going to Denmark with only 1 goal loss. I think if we said that before when we were recording the last time, I think Aalborg would be kind of satisfied with only losing with 1 goal. But having the game in mind, I think they can be disappointed about not at least getting the draw, as you said. Obviously, when you have the ball in your hand, Veszprem was struggling on the left wing. Who could the shot? It was on the penalties. He tried everything in the beginning on the left wing, and then Bjarki Mar came in. I was expecting more from Veszprem, and I was kind of thinking, like, is this typical Veszprem, or is the Aalborg just doing really great? But it's an open game, and it's going to be a sold-out arena in Aalborg also. So this one, to me, is more open than I kind of predicted before in the last episode. So it's interesting, and I will be watching, obviously, and I just don't think, like, whenever they play with Arnoldsen and Hoxha, we still have to have in mind it's young guys. They haven't been playing Champions League at this level before. So going to Veszprem, I was like, can they, be able to handle the pressure? It will be playing against Veszprem in Veszprem, and so far I think they did pretty well, I have to say. So crits to Aalborg, although they ended up losing, and hopefully for them it won't mean anything, but all goals are going to count in this one.
Well, I mean, we probably all agree that we didn't expect it to be just 1 goal loss from Aalborg in Veszprem, because that was the one game that we all aligned on, where we said who would proceed to the semifinals. But still, Aalborg pulled off a big fight. Maybe to come back to that topic of being angry in front of such an important second leg, especially looking at the last years where Aalborg hasn't been a regular participant of the EHF Final Four in Cologne. Victor, how do you approach such a second leg when you have been that close of actually winning a draw in Veszprem?
Well, I think that Aalborg now is in a position of a lot of pressure, because I think that before they didn't have that pressure, and I could feel that when they started the game in Veszprem, they were having fun. They were playing without any pressure. Like, okay, we are not the favorites here, despite they have the home advantage, so they qualified in a better position in the group phase. But now, with that result, Aalborg has a lot of pressure, because now it's kind of everybody expects them to go through. And I think Martin explained it very well. I think that if we would say to Aalborg players and Aalborg fans to go away from Veszprem with a loss of 1 goal, everybody would sign the contract, Yeah. But now, looking at the game, it seems like they didn't take advantage of the big first half that they played, and Veszprem was managed to go back, and only big teams do that, in my opinion. So it's really open, and I'm really looking forward for that game and the game of course, Magdeburg-Kiel.
Yeah, and I mean,
it's always. Yep. Yeah, sorry, Bengt. It's just I was just thinking about when Victor explained it, because Aalborg was leading with 5 goals at halftime and still lost with 1. And it's sometimes, do you want to stick to your game plan when you're leading with 5 goals in Hungary and Veszprem, because probably it wasn't expected, or should you take the ball and put it under your shirt? And by that I mean, play slowly, don't run all the fast breaks, play the clock and stuff like that.
Because in beach handball, you would just skyrocket the ball.
Only Serbian and Balkan teams know to do that.
Yeah, true.
Scandinavian teams, German teams, Spanish teams, French teams, they don't know to do that. Only Balkan teams, they know how to play with time.
Yeah.
Because
that
could be a thing, or when you're leading in the first leg, in the second game, it can be the one who has the lead. For example, in this case, Barcelona, but we're never going to see Barcelona play slowly. And then Montpellier, but in general, they cracked the code with the big wins. So maybe they should just stick to the original game plan.
And we're talking a lot about smiling people here today. We have Victor smiling. We have Martin kind of smiling, but I know someone who's actually most definitely smiling ever since the final whistle of his game, because they managed to beat Kiel by a huge margin, and he was a central role in there. Ladies and gentlemen, Stas Skube, how's it going?
Hello. Thanks for nice introduction. I'm fine, and greetings from Montpellier.
Greetings from Montpellier. So you guys are in preparation for the weekend, or is Kiel already in your mind again?
No, we will have one game tomorrow from French League, and after we have 4 or 5 days to prepare the second match for Kiel.
I was just about to say it was an 8-goal margin, but it was actually 9 goals. So you scored 39 against Kiel, only conceding 30. In general, I think Victor predicted that you guys would go over to Cologne. To be completely honest, Martin and me didn't. We went with Kiel here when we predicted the quarterfinals. But still, you managed to outscore Kiel by a lot. How did you guys do that? How did it feel on the court?
Yeah, I think that first I would like to say that I think this was our best match in our season. The atmosphere, the fans were amazing. Our goalkeeper was very, very good, and after we just enjoyed our game, and we really, really didn't expect that we can beat Kiel by 9 goals. But still, it's only one game, and the second leg is still on the menu, if I can say like this. So we have to stay focused and be ready, because I think Victor knows the best that Kiel is Kiel, and especially when they are playing in Kiel, everything is possible. So we are not thinking about Köln; we are thinking about second game in Kiel.
Victor, you know best.
Yes, I think I have left a lot of feelings in Kiel. It was the biggest emotions because we could win, or the biggest embarrassments because I lost by 10 there. So, as Stas say, first of all, thank you, Stas, to be here with us. It's a pleasure to have you. But as Stas say, it's a very, very difficult arena to play, even to defend a 9-goal lead. But as Bengt said, I was the only one here that was betting on Montpellier in this playoff, because I have seen you guys playing a lot, and even you are struggling with injuries, because 2 important players in your team, like Hesham and Bilemino, are out at this moment. When I saw you guys playing here in Barcelona, I saw a team that you know what you're playing. And I think you can tell us better that you are in a very, very good moment of your career. You always have been a player that you like to control the tempo of the game, but I think that after some time playing now in Montpellier, with the team that you have right now, you are feeling very good in this system. You play very good with the line players. You make especially Brian Monte to shine a little bit more. How are you feeling right now with this team, Stas?
Yeah, like you said, I think that everybody in the team feels really comfortable now. We can feel each other, and yes, we are enjoying. We are enjoying now our moments, and probably we are playing really the best game in since I'm here. So last 2 years, I think now we are. I don't know. We have something more like before, and as you said, we are without two important players. So Brian, Diego, and me, we have to take the responsibility of to play more, to give more the team, and I think till now we are successful, and I hope we will just continue like that, and I hope that the end of the season we will be proud and happy of what we will achieve.
And I want to come back to your saying that that was the best game that you played all season. What was the game plan ahead of the game? I mean, you guys did analyze Kiel. You did have a look at what they did in the group stage. It's been quite some time since they played their last Machineseeker EHF Champions League game. You guys did go through the playoffs. But still, what did your coach tell you? How did you guys approach that game?
First, I would like to say we had 7-8 days to prepare this game, so we have really a lot of time to analyze, to prepare. But I think that maybe we were with less pressure than Kiel, because maybe we were a bit underdogs, but I like that role. Last time when I was with Vardar in this role, it was really, really nice end, so I hope... I would like.
We will talk about that later.
Yeah. And maybe this was the difference, because Kiel, I think they have no chance to win Bundesliga. They lost they didn't win the cup, and you can imagine what is the pressure in Kiel for the club like Kiel with such a good history. So maybe this was the biggest difference, and we really enjoyed this game. And like I said, we had amazing goalkeeper, amazing atmosphere, and after we just play like we know, and everything was perfect.
We already spoke about, Stas, I also want to say thank you for being here. We spoke about, the Final Four you had with Vardar, but as Victor said, we will come back to that. I'm maybe changing the subject a little bit here, because to me, the last couple of years, we have seen backcourt players, without being rude, that are not 2 meters tall. And for example, Victor didn't make it as a backcourt player. You did. Was there any doubts for you throughout, your career, whether you wanted to be a backcourt player, a playmaker, because you have to maybe develop other skills, passing skills, handball intelligence, and stuff like that?
I think this is I got this question, I don't know, 200 times in my career. Yes, like you said, you already answered about this question, so I have to do more with agility, with speed, with intelligence, with other stuff. I cannot score from 10, 11 meters, maybe one time per game if I'm lucky, but not 10 times. Yes, I can say that I developed this through, last 20 years, but when I started to play handball, I was between left wing and middle back, but I think after 2-3 years, I was just a playmaker, and I'm all my career a playmaker, and I like it. I watch a lot of handball. I train a lot of other skills, like I said, and I just want to be successful, and I just want to continue like that.
But do you think that if you would be left-handed like I was, would you be a middle back player? That's another thing, huh?
Very, very, very good question. I don't know. Maybe I would play 3 roles like Blasians does in Barcelona now. He's
that's a good answer. That's a good answer.
So maybe I would be some kind of player like Blas now.
Okay.
Because I also think that the game has developed, to be quicker and quicker, because normally before everybody was talking about if you want to be a backcourt player, you need to be that tall or that strong or stuff like that, with the fast middle. We also seen, for example, in Denmark, they have Mathias Gitzel. He's not also the tallest player. In Fischer Berlin, they have Niels Lichtlein also playing, I think it's also something that we see more and more, that also Luc Steins in Paris, as there's a lot of examples, with players, and yourself, Diego Simone, also, so it's developing also.
The best connection is that you have to have high players, strong players, fast players. It's not just, black or white, it's, you have to have a good mix of everything. And I think this is the best formula for success.
Yeah. But and I also know, because I myself also been watching a lot of handball in the Danish league, and you also had a brother that was very successful in the Danish league. And also, the kind of playmaker that are a little bit smaller, very fast and clever. Did you guys ever push each other, or did you learn everything from Sebastian that you could take into your career and stuff like that?
Honestly, we are not talking nothing about handball. We have, I have my own family, he has his own family. So especially now when we are a bit older, we really don't speak about handball. But when we were younger, we trained together, we fight between each other. It's normal. So maybe, yes, we push each other, not just with my brother, with other teammates also, because everybody wants to be just better and better. And I think this is a health concurrence to that everybody has a goal to be better from day to day.
Yeah, sounds like a painful start to your handball career, fighting with your brother while training there. Sorry to jump here a little bit, but I do want to come back to that Kiel matchup, because there was one sequence of the game that I found super interesting. It was around the 15th minute when you guys were actually 2 men down, and there was only 4 of you guys defending against the 6 Kiel players. Still, you managed to not concede a single goal. At first, how did that situation feel from your perspective?
Yeah, I think maybe this was a crucial moment also, because after that we didn't receive a goal. I think Yanis scored from small angle, and this was just, I think, from psychological moment, the crucial moment of the game. And after we received a lot of energy from our fans, and we were pushing like never. And maybe I can agree that it was a crucial moment of the game. Yes.
Yeah, that was my next question, whether that was a situation where you guys knew that there was something big happening today. But yeah, something big happened, and now it's Montpellier +9 going to Kiel. Are you afraid to bottle that second leg at all, or are you guys confident that the road to Cologne is open now?
If we will go to Kiel with some doubts, with some afraid, we can lose by 15, I think. So we have to be confident. We have to go there to win the match, not to defend +9, because I don't know, from +3, +4 to +9, it can be in 3-4 minutes, especially in Kiel, with few good saves of goalkeepers and few fast break. And after the psychological moment would be on the Kiel side, so we cannot allow this. Like I said, first we have one game tomorrow from French League, and after we have 4 days to speak about Kiel game, to prepare tactics. So I think that everything will be okay, and I'm not afraid. I'm confident about me, about my team, about my stuff. So I'm optimistic before we will go to Kiel to win the game, not to defend the +9 difference.
And then on the other hand, there is Cologne shining on the horizon already for you guys. And for you, correct me if I'm wrong, it would be the second appearance in Cologne, right?
Yeah.
And the first time, the first time you've been there
with Vardar, yes.
And the first time you've actually been there, you won it. Because right now you are on a 100% streak of going to Cologne and winning the Champions League.
Let's stay like that, please.
Yeah. So is that something that is in the back of your mind already, or do you at first need to go that step to go there?
Honestly, I'm not thinking about Cologne, because it's not so close. First, we have to beat Kiel in the second leg, and after I hope that we will reach the Cologne. And I don't need to speak about Cologne, because in Cologne everything is possible, everything can happen. I don't know how many times the biggest underdogs won the Champions League. So first I hope we will beat Kiel, and after we can speak about Cologne.
Yeah, I mean, your phone camera already pointed into the sky, so that is a little side to dream big there.
Yes.
But yeah, maybe coming back to your personal trophy moment in 2019 there. what kind of magical appearance is it in Cologne, or what kind of magical touch has Cologne to it, looking at it from a player's perspective?
I think this is the biggest event in handball. It's really the best possible organization, the best one of the best sport hall, amazing crowd. So this is the top of the handball. The biggest thing doesn't exist. So I was there just one time, but I can say that it was magical, especially because we won the trophy. But it is really, really nice to see all people who are in handball. Everybody is in Cologne. Everybody is living for this 2-3 days. So it's really magical, and I hope I will see these moments this season also.
So now that we opened the pot of Vardar winning that Champions League, I wanted to go through a little bit your career, Stas, because from Gorenje Velenje till Vardar, you have had some ups and downs in your career, and you went after Gorenje Velenje, you went to Szeged, and then after Szeged, you went to Vardar. I wanted you to explain us, if you are open to do it, what happened in Szeged, because it looked like it was a very good place for you. You were playing a lot of minutes, and then you were kind of kicked out of the club, and then you went to Vardar, and let's say kind of you took your revenge because you win against them, and we all remember that press conference with Roberto and Pastor, and yeah. So what happened there, and what did you learn from what happened to you there in Szeged to, make your career even better than it was at that moment?
Yeah, I can speak honestly. I don't have any problem to say the truth or the things that happened. Like you said, I was in Szeged. I had 2 more years contract. We won the Hungarian league. You can imagine the games between Veszprém and Szeged. Veszprém is, of course, number 1 in Hungary. Maybe the end was not so nice, but it's 5 years, or I don't know how many years ago, 6 years ago. So I'm okay now with that. But in this time it was really hard because my kids were, I don't know, 2 and 3 years old. We really settled good in Szeged. We were feeling really comfortable, but this is the professional sport. Maybe the way that they told me, so like we spoke now, it was like 5 minutes Skype call. Hey, we don't count on you. You can go. I was, what are we talking about? It was like, I don't know how to explain it. It was really hard, but finally, maybe it was not. It was good decision. If I can look now in the past, it was good decision because of what happened last 5-6 years. Maybe it would never happen if I will stay in Szeged, or I'm quite sure that will never happen if I will stay in Szeged. So after yes, like you said, quarterfinal against when I play in Vardar, it was against Szeged. I was probably the most motivated in my career. I said or now or never. So I played with Vardar guys who were really amazing handball players and amazing persons. And we did what we did. So we won the first game by 8 or 9. I don't remember what. I think by 8. But we were losing 9 in the halftime in Szeged, or 8 in the halftime in Szeged. But finally we beat them. Finally we won the trophy. Yes, maybe it was not the best way what I did or what I spoke in press conference, but Maybe I would do the same now if I'm honest, because I feel I don't know what was not cheated. I don't know how to explain. It was a lot of bad feelings, and first of all I want to support Roberto, because he was kind of attacked by other guys. But like I said, it is the past. I don't want to speak. Okay, I can speak about that, but I don't want that this is some topic. We have a lot of better topics than this. But I think I explained in short way what happened there.
But you think it was a good experience at the end of the day for you and your family, because that made you stronger as a player, maybe a stronger mindset from that moment, and then it made also a stronger bond with your family, and you are maybe more together than ever, because then also after in your career you went to Belarus, and then you signed for Kielce, but you never went there and went to Montpellier. So it was a little bit mixing of everything, right? It was at the end of the day a good experience for you.
Yeah, like you said, maybe it had to happen. I don't know how to explain. We were pushed from our comfortable zone, and it is good finally. If I think now, when I'm a bit older, it was really good that I moved to Vardar, that I moved to Belarus. I had really very, very nice 4 years of my career, but I can say there were a lot of problems, other problems in Vardar. Finally, there were some other problems in Belarus. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. And finally, yes, I signed for Kielce, and this war started in Ukraine. And Montpellier had a lot of injuries that time, and they were like calling me if I'm ready to come. Finally, I decided that if I'm ready to come just for the 2-3 months, and I decided I will stay in Brest at the end of the season to finish the job. And after the talks started about if I'm ready to come next year, and I explained them I signed for Kielce, but if you made an agreement and everything is okay, of course I'm ready to come to Montpellier. And finally everything was good. They spoke with Kielce. They pay some fee, and finally I'm here in Montpellier.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I'm super interested because if we're talking about Kielce, they have been to the final of the Machineseeker EHF Champions League the past 2 years. Montpellier, they have won it a while ago, but ever since looking for that big step. What are the ambitions of Montpellier going into a Champions League season?
First, I would like to explain that my decision to sign for Montpellier was the family is is the most important thing for me, and I think that I thought that my family would be would live better lives. I don't know how to explain. Everybody knows that Kielce had some problems in the past, and I was in Skopje, I was in Brest with some problems. I was thinking that maybe France and Montpellier is more secure for me and for my family, and maybe or probably the Kielce, if I'm looking just from the handball, if I'm thinking just about handball, they're stronger. They have stronger team, better team, but like I said, I choose Montpellier because of my family, and I'm happy that I choose like that. What was the question?
I was just about to say you wisely swerved around the question. Montpellier's Champions League ambitions.
Sorry.
All good.
Yes, I would like to say that in France the priority is all competition in France. So the priority was French league. The priority was French Cup. We didn't succeed in these two competition. We have some small chances to finish second in the French league to qualify to Champions League next year, and we lost against Paris in semi-final in the French Cup. So the only thing that we are to stay in chance to win
the
some
only
trophies.
trophy, yeah.
But everybody knows that this is the hardest trophy to win. So we will do our best. We are not so far from that, but we have to go step by step, and finally we will see what will happen.
It's hard, but we all know the Stas Skube record going to Cologne, and whenever Stas Skube is going to Cologne, we know what's going to happen,
1-1.
Yeah.
It's that you can say like that, but I hope it will be like tradition.
Well, maybe, and we are happy that you are actually back on the court again, because at the beginning of the season there was an injury stopping you. It was the second match against Veszprém where you stepped off the court with a knee injury, and it took you out of the league, of the Machineseeker EHF Champions League, but even out of the Euro. That injury, you only came back after the Euro. How did your injury influence Montpellier's season?
Yeah, first I would like to say that it was the first time that I had big injury, that I was out from handball courts for 3-4 months. For this season, I can say we really have a lot of big injuries. It's normal that every team has some small injuries that you miss one game or two, but we really had. I had 3-4 months. Hesham broke his knee. Vilmino broke his Achilles. So we have also these small injuries, but we had these three big injuries, and all three players who play backcourt position, which are really crucial, or maybe the most important, one of the most important in the handball team. So yes, it was hard, not just because of my injury, but because all three injuries, maybe we didn't achieve the results that we expected. But this is the life. I hope that we will be healthy from now till, I don't know, next few seasons, and we can show all our potential, and it would be nice to win some trophy with Montpellier.
And now that you said that it was the first major injury that you had in your career, what did it do to you personally? So how did you handle that situation?
First, it was painful, not knee painful, but for the head also, because I like to train handball and play handball. I don't like so much gym. I don't like so much rehabilitation and this kind of stuff. So
Balkanic players, huh?
Yes, Balkanic player. Yes, Victor knows about it. So, it was hard, but finally you have to do everything. I trained a lot. I was, I don't know, 3-4 hours every day in the gym, make rehabilitation process, and I think I made a really good rehabilitation, come better and stronger in the head after this injury, and now I'm really enjoying playing handball, playing good. So I need to continue like that, and I hope it will be the nice end of the season.
Now that you are talking a little bit about that, I also wanted to ask you, it's the end of an era in Montpellier this season, because Patrice is saying goodbye. I think he has been everything for this club, because he has done everything for a long time. How do you see his goodbye from the club, and what are the expectations for Montpellier in the future with the new coach, and new era that it's opening after Patrice Canaille.
Yeah, like you said, Patrice this is his 30 years in the club. He's 30 years coach of Montpellier, and I don't know, 15, 16, 17. I don't know how many years he's general manager also. So he is alpha and omega, in Montpellier. He's taking every decision about everything. I don't know how to explain this. So I think it will be. I hope that will not be the hard change for everybody in the club. I think the players will not feel this change because we are not in the office. We are not in the. We are not thinking about the things that the office do. The ambitious, I think, the ambitious will stay the same. We are getting a very good coach. Eric is doing good job in Chambéry. He's the second coach in France national team, so he has a lot of knowledge. He's a really good guy. I spoke with my brother about him with players. So I think that we will have a good time with Eric also. And like I said a few minutes ago, it will be very, very, very nice to win some trophy with Montpellier.
So that already sounds like a lookout into the future. If we look into your past, it has been quite some time that you've been staying at one club for more than 2 years. So you do have further plans with Montpellier, right?
I have, yes. I have one more year contract, so till 2025. I enjoy being here, so till I am healthy, till I can help the team, I would like to stay and play for Montpellier, but of course, nothing is sure in handball. This is what I learned in my career, that nothing is sure. So I'm ready for everything. But if you ask me, yes, I'm feeling good here, and I would like to stay in Montpellier.
I have to have a look at the clock here, and I need to ask you whether you have like 5 or 6 more minutes for us.
Yeah, no problem.
Sweet. That sounds good. Because I would like to open the talks about you and the national team here as well. Because as I just pointed out already, we saw you missing the Euro due to your knee injury. And Slovenia ended up playing a massive tournament. So they ended up becoming 6th at first. How did you follow the Euro?
Yes, I follow almost every Slovenian game, and I watch a lot of other games also. I think it was a very, very good tournament for our team. We achieved 6th place. We win the 2nd place in qualification tournament for Olympic Games. So I think everything is going to right direction. Yes, I missed the Euro because of my knee injury, but I also want to say that Slovenia has 5-6 top playmakers who are playing in the best teams in Europe. So it is really hard to come inside in the team. So I don't know what will be in the future. I will be 35. In November, so I'm not the youngest of these guys. We have Domen playing for Barca, who is for me the biggest potential in the middle back position in the world. We have some experienced other playmakers, so it's up to the coach who will decide who will play for national team. And I think that on this position he cannot make mistake, because whatever, if he will pick, I don't know, me or Zarabets or Makut, so he cannot miss. So it's up to him how he will decide, and we are everybody is here to play for Slovenia, but the coaches who decide who will play.
But calm down at first. It's still 7 months until you turn 35. You'll have a lot more time to think about your age. But
Yes.
we were not going to talk about your birthday in April. That's too long to go. But yeah, you have been naming one or two names there already. For instance, Domin Makuc, who missed the Euro. For instance, Blažjank, who missed the Euro as well. Yourself, who missed the Euro. Just theoretically spoken, with all the things that happened during the Euro, Victor, I'm not going to go there again. But yeah, what would have been possible with a Slovenia in full strength?
I think honestly, if you ask me, that I would say that France, Denmark, and Sweden are the strongest team in the world at the moment. I think it's very, very hard to beat them. And after, there is maybe 8, 9, 10 teams who are in the same level, if I can say like that. So we cannot expect that Slovenia will be in semi-final of every tournament. That Slovenia will be sixth on every tournament, because it's too many good teams. So I think that in the last Euro it was the stars were on the other side. So we did a really good result. But to win the medal and to reach the semi-final, I think it's not impossible, because everything is possible. But these three teams are, I don't know, one step in front of everybody, I think. And of course, you have to have a really good day, really good. Like, you have to have the game like we had against Kiel, and after everything is possible.
Martin, you looked like you were just about to ask something.
I just totally agree with Stas, but we also seen earlier with the Slovenian national team that the quality they have in the team, also with Dolanic, Makovsek, and the Lion players, Blagocinček, and all the names we could keep name dropping, because Slovenia have been strong, and it also depends on, the structure of the tournament, the matchup, but it's definitely not... I wouldn't say, for Slovenians, for me, it's always some kind of an outsider, because they have the quality to compete with the best teams. But throughout an entire tournament, and also injuries, it can be difficult. This time they had Skube, they had Marguc, they had Jans, If they come in full strength, and if they play a great game, and then, of course, they can compete with the best of the, as I agree with Stas also saying, I think it's Sweden and France and Denmark at the moment, and also been Spain the last couple of years. They didn't have the Euro they wanted to, but there are a lot of strong teams with Hungary, Croatia, Austria also showed up last time, Germany. So national-wise, in national teams, it's difficult, and it's about, the small things, the small margins, whenever you have to decide the outcomes of these games. But I definitely see Slovenia as a quality team with a lot of strong guys.
Actually, that Euro that was superb out of the Slovenian perspective. How was it regarded in Slovenia and the Slovenian press?
I think everybody was satisfied, because last 4 or 5 years we had some bad tournaments, and it was really nice that we beat Denmark. For the Denmark, this game was not important, but still you have to beat Denmark. So it was. I think that everybody in Slovenia was satisfied with this tournament, especially now when we qualified to Olympic Games. It was the main goal of this generation. So for now, I think everything is going in the right direction, and we have to hope to some miracle, or I don't know how to say that, we will do some amazing tournament and to do some big result.
Cool. then I would say we keep our fingers crossed there for Slovenia, but for you there as well, that the coach will still choose you on your high-speed route to your 35th birthday. But until then, there's a lot more handball to be played with Montpellier. You have a huge task to tackle in Kiel, but for that, we keep our fingers crossed, I'd say. And then let's say thank you for being here, and thanks for taking the time. And after all, good luck for your match against Kiel.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and all the best for you also.
Cool.
Thank you, Stas.
Good luck,
Voila.
Stas.
See you around.
Ciao.
See you.
Ciao.
Yeah, very confident he sounded when it was for the matchup against Kiel, but still not overly confident, what I would say, because he said that they are in a good position, but they still need to win that game.
I loved his answer when we asked him about. He said, honestly, if we have any doubts in our mind, we can lose by 15. I loved it because it's what I really feel. I feel that Montpellier has the quality to come to Barcelona and win in Palau Blaugrana, but as a team, they still, in my opinion, because there is a lot of young players, don't have this mature team to say that the playoff is done. You know, it could happen. So I really loved the answer that he gave us, because I think it was the most honest answer, and I loved this chat that we had with him, because he was very honest and open to speak about everything.
Yeah, and also he seemed like a very humble guy, as you said, Victor, open about the answer. Also, the thing that you spoke about him with Pick Szeged and the way that he explained it. But also, I like the sentence also that they don't need to go out and defend the 9-goal lead. They still need to attack it, and that's mentally also how you're going to prepare for the game. That, we're not going over there thinking about the 9-goal. We're going to play this game like we played the first one, and then they're going to see what happens. For sure, it's not easy to play in Kiel, but obviously it's nice to get there with a 9-goal lead, but it can happen really fast. And he spoke himself about. Yeah.
We all know about the theory, but it's inevitable that in your subconscious you are counting goals, But of course, the way to face this game for them, it's 0-0. We have to win.
Yeah, and I mean, both teams are in a comparable situation right now regarding their domestic league and their domestic cup, because, he said it, Paris beat Montpellier in the cup in Germany is already done, and Kiel is out of the race for even the Champions League spots for next season. And both are really relying on that matchup to go to Cologne, but with one major difference. Kiel went into that matchup being the favorites, winning their group and, being THW Kiel. But eventually that didn't get them anywhere. On the other hand, it shows the importance of that matchup that is just coming up, and we're looking forward to it. But after a 9-goal lead, Montpellier has all the drums in their hands, and that's why I would say let's talk about the other matchup that we still have open, and that is still open. We have Kielce against Magdeburg. And Andy Wolf promised us a promising matchup, and it actually ended up being that. But still, Kielce, they beat Magdeburg by 1 goal.
Yeah. Yes, they beat them. In my opinion, it was one decision that was crucial for the game. It was a red card to Dylan Naid. For me, that was crucial for the game. And still, because Simon Sichko is not in the team, Gembala is not in the team, so Kielce not having Dylan Naid after 10 minutes in the first half, I think it was something like that. For them, it was a huge loss, especially defensively speaking. So still for them to win that game, for me, it was amazing. And the playoff is open. I think that Magdeburg did a great game. I love to see Gisli Kristjansson playing the way he did again. it's amazing, this guy, how everything he has been through, talking about injuries and the way he's playing, it's like he's not thinking about that, all the injuries or nothing. He's just going and going and going, and that's amazing to see. His mental strength, it's crazy. So for me, it's really exciting, that game in Germany that is still to be played.
Yeah, especially the way that they approached Gisli in defense. So Nahi's red card was against Gisli there as well. And with his playing style, with his dangerous aura that he always has once he enters the court, it's super tough to play against Gisli Kristjansson, and it forces them to, well, attack him a little more physically. Kielce did, but they still didn't stop Gisli Kristjansson, because he scored 6 goals. I think Felix Klaas scored 6 as well, or even 7 or 8. It was a massive backcourt performance by Magdeburg, but still it wasn't enough to stop Kielce and Alex Dushabayev.
Well, in general, the thing is with Magdeburg, they have a lot of players already. Also have Omar Ingi, who didn't succeed in the beginning of the game. Like he had quite a similar beginning to the game as Hugo de Schat had, missing penalties. He actually missed 2, I think, in the beginning. One hit the post.
Best, but you don't succeed.
Yeah. And then they even have Janus Smarason, Albin Lagergren, and also Philip Weber and Michael Damgaard. So I think Bennett Wiegert, the way he built up the team is also super for Magdeburg. They have these kind of fast players. And for me, I also watched Flensburg against Magdeburg live. And Magdeburg is just a team that's really hard to get rid of, if you can put it like that. They lost with 1 goal here, but they go into Germany with a 1-goal loss. And with the history of them playing in Germany, in general, I just think Magdeburg looks strong. But on the other hand, Alex Dushabayev is also the guy who likes and loves to play in these kind of games, that are intensive. He likes to have the ball in his hands and make the decisions. And who knows, Andy Wolf can turn up even as he did in the beginning of the game, because in general, I think he had played better matches. But the way that he played in the beginning of the game, if you do like that and Alex keep on playing his game, then... and as Victor said with Dylan Nahi, I was thinking about it as well, because we've seen him against GOG, where he played a crucial role against Emil Madsen. He can do it again also defensively against these kind of smaller players, because he's physical, so strong, but still he can keep up with the pace of some of the Magdeburg players. So it's an open game, just like the Aalborg Veszprem game. And this is, it's really hard to predict the winner here, because a 1-goal lead for Kielce, it's good. But I would say Magdeburg are the favorites, but they should be aware of the situation.
Are you guys sticking to all your predictions?
100% PSG is going to make it.
I'm gonna give you credit with the Montpellier prediction. I think that was very good from you, Victor, and even because they made it so clear. We know there's still a second game, but the Montpellier game, I saw it as well, and I was like, you also sometimes have a feeling and sense of the game, although I'm not playing, but I just kind of felt like Montpellier was there, the intensity was there. Maybe it was the arena, Stas spoke about it, but I saw Brian Monte also, the season that he had also when he played against Barcelona, he had an amazing game. And Remy Desbonnet, he was there, it's just the feeling that you had of the game. I could see that Montpellier, they just, they were there. It's not because Kiel didn't want to fight for the win, but my feeling was, okay, this is something's going to happen here. But I'm going to stick with the work prediction. I'm going to stick with that one.
Yeah, well, who would we be if we turned around 180 degrees just because the wind changes? I'm settling my sails, and we're gonna. Well, my predictions are gonna go through. They're gonna fight back, I'm sure. But yeah, still.
Two of them maybe.
Yeah. Victor's still on his way to maybe even go 4 out of 4, so he's not on a bad. On a bad path there, but let's hope he fails to do so. But
let's pray that Victor is failing, right? Yeah, guys, you have to pray.
everyone to fail and do bad. And
Well, we did go
You have
for
to
a
pray
bet
for
again.
that, because otherwise I'm gonna be 2.5 meters high the next time we are in the podcast.
Yeah. Fair enough. But with 2.5 meters, you might actually would have been a good right back. But that's another topic here. But yeah, for now, let's keep it here. But yeah, the second leg is being played in Germany, and only one goal behind for Magdeburg. What's still in it? Is it wide open, or is Kiel actually able to carry home that ship? Victor, what do you think?
well, it depends on if you ask me or Victor, But
Yeah.
I see Magdeburg as the favorite still. But that's my opinion, objective.
I see it's possible for Kielce. It's difficult, really difficult, but it's possible. I think that Magdeburg is probably at this moment the team that it looks with Barcelona the strongest one. But Magdeburg has a very, very strong league in Germany. So they don't show that strength like Barcelona does sometimes in Palau Blaugrana, that to win by 8, 9, 10 goals. So if you would ask me that Kielce is going to Barcelona with 1 goal, I would say probably Barcelona is a bigger favorite than now what I feel with Magdeburg. I think Magdeburg is the favorite because it was a very good result in Poland, but I feel that it can happen for Kielce.
Yeah, and Martin.
And also because Kielce, they had another injury with and for the backup players is Mikhail Olejniczak, if I say it correctly. And
yes.
Yeah, it's about sometimes the Polish pronunciation for the Scandinavian can be hard, but we saw him, and of course we wish him all the best. But it looked like a knee injury, and it looked pretty bad. He had another player, was it Felix Klar, who landed on him, and that can also mean something for Kielce at the situation they're in at the moment, offensively, defensively also. But Magdeburg, they look strong, and as Victor said, they have a domestic league where they are in a comfortable position for the title, and I know the next game for them will be against Kielce, and then they will play against Lemgo and Erlangen away. So not the toughest matches. So I think we can expect Magdeburg to go into this game with full focus and 100%. It's open. Obviously, it's open whenever you play against in Kielce, and we saw it with Landin going back to, I said it earlier, to Kiel. Now Wolf is going to Germany to play against, Magdeburg. He will be motivated, and if the big bad Wolf turns up, then something can happen.
Yeah, then we got party in the house. But the party will be back on Wednesday and Thursday. That's where I would say let's close down the Machineseeker EHF Champions League talks, and let's humble Victor Tomas again, because Martin, this one is on you right now. This one is your big chance to get that 2.5 meter guy back to his 1.40 m that he actually is. We're playing.
Wow! So aggressive. You're so aggressive, huh?
We're playing another round of
the 6-0 in paddle is still
it's still down deep here. It's still down deep here.
Okay.
I gotta claw on those straws that I'm still having. But yeah, that's some other topic. But yeah, we are playing another round of Who Am I? And if I'm not wrong here, we're at 4-4, right?
Yeah,
yes, we are.
Officially 4-4, and then I got 2 correct without Victor. But
yeah, good on you that you won against absolutely nobody. But perfect that you had like 9 hints to guess who Matthias Gitzel is. But yeah, cool. Then we are going to play another round of Who Am I? I'm going to give you hints to a certain player. If one of you guys knows who it is, just give me the answer. Yeah, Martin, you want to solve?
No, I just want to hear, do we have the VAR today?
We don't. We're still in 2010. There's no VAR technology yet. So we are going to stick to the old rules. If you are guessing, but guessing it wrong, the point goes to the opponent. We're at 4-4. We're looking for the tiebreaker. Who am I? I started playing professional handball in 2013. No one's going to solve it on that one. That's why I'm going straight over to the next one. I reached the Champions League final once, but I want to do it again this year. All right. You are sorting the names that are rolling through your head. I was the star in an episode of The Spin, We Talk Handball. It was episode number 22. All right. Yeah, who did his homework? Who knows who was in the show when? I am gonna give you the next hint. I scored 6 goals on Thursday and became my team's top scorer yet again.
6 goals. Oh. Okay.
You wanna go for it?
I have someone in mind. Give me another one. I'm ready for now.
I am world champion, Olympic winner, and a
yes,
European
I have one.
champion. You want to solve or you don't? Victor, you still
I want to say that.
All right.
I'm gonna say a guy who joined us from the locker room, and maybe he played in the. I don't know if that's for sure. I'm gonna say that was his name, Nedim Remili.
I am French champion and Hungarian champion. People say we are built to win the Machineseeker EHF Champions League. I delivered the most assists during the EHF Euro 2024. Even though I'm left-handed, I can play as a center back as well. I am the most valuable player of the EHF Euro 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nedim Remili.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a hat-trick, I was thinking about Jusebayev shortly here, but, 22...
Have a good weekend, guys. Bye-bye.
Well, back to his 176 that he actually is. Now back to you. Or are you... No, 179. It's probably somewhere around there, right?
77.
All right.
Goodbye. Bye-bye. I have to go.
Bye.
Oh, well, fair enough. But congratulations to you, Martin. That was good. But yeah.
I have to say I've been very fair play in the beginning of Who Am I, giving Victor the lead and then, making him feel comfortable. And now I'm bouncing back.
I don't know what is happening these last weeks. I'm out. I was not even thinking about him, I'm not focused.
Actually, Nedim Remili was not on your mind?
No, because it felt the beginning of this Who Am I, it felt so easy all the time that now I think I'm a little bit relaxed,
Yeah.
And I have to come back.
Yeah, well, you were probably started playing professional handball in 2013. I was in the Spin already. Jesper Nørresbo? Probably that one? No, all right. Cool. Victor, you better start doing your homework yet again because this guy had a greater comeback than every 90s trend ever. So he's back at it. He is at 5-4.
It's getting a little bit boring, I have to say. If where's the competition? Come on.
Yeah. Fair enough. But we'll see. Whether
we can play. I pack my bag again if you want. Martin.
Yeah, pack my.
And then Martin will be out after three things over there as well.
It's unbelievable. I was unlucky one time, guys. We will be back. We'll be back next time, and then I will do the homework with I pack my bag. But Victor, the champion of that, and sometimes it even hurts to become number 2, even more Bengt.
Fair. But yeah, that's it for now. And next week we will have another round, probably still of Who Am I and not of I Pack My Bag. But other than that, Victor has time to do his homework during the Machineseeker EHF Champions League and the EHF Champions League Women because those games are being played this week and we are heavily looking forward to it. Until then, guys, make yourselves a handball-loaded week, and we hear each other again next time when it's time to talk handball again.
Ball across to Dylan. Now he double it! flight. Oh, what a start.
Ooh, into the net.
She does it again. Yes.
Van Dijvenberg are the champions.